Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time we explored the entirety of Route 7 on our way here to the Celestial Tower, and this time we are going to be entering the Celestial Tower and exploring it as well. I love this music. At the very top of the tower, there's a big bell. I've heard that when you ring it, it pleases the spirits. This is Celestial Tower, where Pokémon are laid to rest. Hi there, how are things with Skyla? Oh, you still haven't earned the gym badge yet? Well, if that's the case, I'll keep up the fieldwork until the plane is ready to fly. Oh yeah, why don't you try using this? Ooh, Lucky Egg, that is a very good item. That will multiply the holder's experience yield by 1.5, so we definitely want to equip that somewhere. Giving that Lucky Egg to a Pokemon to hold increases the amount of experience points received in a battle a little bit. Having strong Pokemon will make it easier to fill your Pokedex pages. Indeed it will be, so we are going to head into the bag and equip that. Nice thing is, if you auto-sort, it will fly right up to the top of the bag, signifying its major importance. So let's give that to... Let's give it to Magnezone, since Magnezone's going to see quite a bit of action in the upcoming gym. Now, technically, we could do the gym first. I just prefer doing this first because it cuts down on the amount of exploration you need to do around this area before moving onwards after the gym. Plus, it gives you lots of experience that you could definitely use. Anyway, right here, we of course have trainers in this area. A lot of them, given that this is a grave site, will use Dark, Ghost, and Psychic type Pokemon, which is fitting. And also, we might be encountering some of those Pokemon ourselves in the wild encounters, which is going to be pretty awesome. So anyway, here we have Litwick, probably one of my personal favorite Pokemon of the generation. Let's see how Dragon Claw will do. I'm not really sure how much it's going to do against a Fire type. I'm cool with that. Alrighty. And up next is Espeon. That's an interesting one. I think we're going to send out Mandibuzz for that, just to have our type advantage to go to. And I think a Feint attack will be perfectly... What? Well, I mean, okay, the results will be the same. It's weird, you don't see the AI switch out very often. That was very surprising, although it really didn't do them much good. At this point, it's basically pick their poison, and they picked it, and it is going to do quite a number on them either way. Very good. Alrighty, now if we bring up our dowsing machine, I don't think there is anything to be found here that is hidden. I could be wrong on that. Have a light clay right there. I don't exactly remember what that does. I think it powers up ground type moves in some way or another. Thanks to my little Litwick's light, my victory is coming into view. Litwick is one of those Pokemon that I really, really wish I had a shiny of, because Shiny Litwick has a golden flame, which is very awesome. Here we have LGM. Pretty sure we actually already caught this back on Route 4, which is exciting, seeing Pokemon we've seen before. Almost as exciting as seeing something new. Alrighty, what's up next? Vanillite. That's random. I have to wonder if this person doesn't actually have a Litwick. That's the kind of the awkward thing with this hack, is that most trainer rosters have been changed, but the dialogue has not been changed, so we might get some oddities here and there. Anyway, Flame Burst should bring this thing down with zero trouble. Indeed it does. Almost level 46 on Victini. Yeah, this person doesn't actually have a Litwick on their team. They certainly did in the original game, so kind of the awkward result of having all of these roster changes around. You sometimes get oddities like that. Anyway, Victini gets level 46, which is very nice. And of course we get one more mention of the Litwick that apparently doesn't exist. Notice what she said right there, TM61 Will-O-Wisp. She mentions that she felt really tired out by that battle. Pokédex entries for Litwick seem to suggest that presence around the Pokemon will cause your life force to be drained. Yeah. As I've said, the Pokédex entries turn really morbid really fast. I have no idea why, but it's a wonder the human race isn't extinct with all this crazy stuff out there waiting to kill you. Ugh. Anyway, we have Poliwhirl right here giving it a Dragon Claw, and it actually survives. Unfortunately, Belly Drum doesn't allow it to KO itself. That would be really hilarious if it did. Wow, that actually did more. Oh, it was a critical. Well, criticals are still nice. Although I wish it had done that little hair more. Oh well. Alright, up next is Poliwrath. Interesting, they seem to have changed up a lot of the rosters in here. They were pretty much exclusively Ghost type and Psychic type in the original game. But I mean, I'm cool with it. Alrighty, I think Thunderbolt will be good for this guy. Hopefully he doesn't get a fighting type attack off on us, because that could do quite a bit of damage, which we definitely want to avoid. Gain our boosted experience points, already to level 46, which is very good. It's nice. I really don't think I am going to need to grind at all for this next gym fight, and I know the last time I elected to not grind, it ended quite poorly, but I'm confident this time. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm set for this gym fight. Not to seem overconfident, but I'm really confident about this gym fight, which I'm glad about. Best not to have to worry about anything. Mandibuzz gets level 46 and is trying to learn Dark Pulse. Ooh, that is a good move. Feint Attack, Physical 60 never misses. Dark Pulse, Special 80, maybe Flinch. In a perfect world, I'd get rid of Cut. I really want Dark Pulse, but I also want to keep Feint Attack. I'll get rid of Air Slash for now, and then we'll just go from there, because I really want to give Dark Pulse a shot. Alrighty. Get lots of money for that. And we can now head up the stairs in the spirally camera of Game Freak really wanting to show off what they can do with the DS-ness. And we are up on the next floor. Let's see if we can actually encounter any wild Pokemon up here. You can encounter wild Pokemon on any floor above floor 1, I think. So floor 1, where Professor Juniper and the cop were, I think that's the only floor where you cannot encounter any wild Pokemon. Every single other floor is fair game, even on the stairs, which can get a little bit annoying. Alright, we're out first against an ice type. That could be a little bit awkward. Yeah, got a little bit of sliver of HP left, but luckily it didn't try and attack us with any ice-type moves, and of course the Hyper Potion. I really hope this doesn't turn into Liquid Crystal where every single AI tries to heal off. But if it does come to that, I suppose we're just gonna have to deal with it. Alrighty. Here we have Vanillish, which is the evolved form of Vanillite. I have to wonder if we're going to see the evolved form of this thing going forth here. Moment of truth. No, it's a different ice type. This is Beartic. Kind of difficult to pronounce, to be honest, although I really like this idea for a Pokemon. I mean, it took them a long time to go for the the polar bear route. But I'm really glad they finally did it. Although, come to think of it, I don't think they have, like, a dolphin Pokemon, do they? There should have been a dolphin Pokemon in Generation 3, considering the codename for the GameCube. And there's the wild Pokemon, Misdreavus, which ironically is something we've already caught. Where did we catch this? I think we caught this back in Lost Lorn Forest. Man, that was quite a while ago. Alright, let's grab this item here. Covenant Ore, as usual, very useful for trade evolutions. And here we have yet another trainer. I want to say there's only 3 floors in this area with trainers and the like on them. So hopefully this won't take too terribly long. I know last episode was kind of on the long side, and for that I apologize, but I feel like splitting Route 7 into 2 videos would have been a little bit, I don't know, frustrating, because it's been quite a while since we've had a gym battle. I think it's been like 10 episodes. It's been quite a while. And the gap between gyms 5 and 6 really isn't all that long, if we're going to be honest with ourselves. Now that does bring me to something. The gap between gyms 6 and 7 is quite long, and we are going to be doing some more mass catching of Pokemon in between those gyms. But even without that, the gap in between these gyms is very long, and there's a lot of areas in between that we're going to be visiting. So I'm going to be doing the mass catching in between there, just so we don't have a huge backlog of catching to do. It's basically my plan with that. Hopefully it won't take too terribly long. I'd like to get to gym battle number 7 before episode 80. I'm not sure if we're going to get there by that point. It's kind of crazy how long this LP is. And I thought Liquid Crystal was long. I think by this point in Liquid Crystal we had at least 12 gym badges. It's kind of insane. Anyway, we have Bronzor coming out right here. This guy has 5 Pokemon, which is a little frustrating. I'm going to switch to Victini right away to get that type advantage. Alrighty, Future Sight. One interesting thing I learned about Future Sight is we all know that it hits 2 turns after it's used. One thing I didn't know is that it's incredibly powerful. It's listed with base power 120 or something crazy like that. I had no idea Future Sight was that strong. That's kind of crazy to me. Anyway, we have Bayonet coming out, which means I think it's time we test out Dark Pulse on Mandibuzz. Very nice. Alrighty, let's see what Dark Pulse does. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Dark Pulse was the first move showcased in Generation 5 back in April of 2010 when the first screenshots of Black and White came out. I'm pretty sure Dark Pulse was the move that was being showcased in the one battle screenshot they showed. Although I believe the animation was updated by the time the game actually came out because it looked slightly different. But I think it's pretty certain that it was Dark Pulse, so that's pretty fun bit of trivia there. I can't believe I remember that. That was almost 6 years ago now. That's insane. Oh, how time flies when it comes to this franchise. Unless it's a time like now where it seems to grind to a halt. Alright, what's coming out next? Dusclops, which means we're probably going to be switching back to Mandibuzz to pull out another Dark Pulse. Alrighty. How many more Pokemon does this guy have? 2, okay. It's not very often you come across an AI member with 5 Pokemon, even in this hack. Definitely going to get a lot of experience from this one, though. And of course, Misdreavus. And guess what, Mr. Psychic? It does affect Misdreavus. Mwahahaha. Oh, references. Down it goes. Get a little bit of experience for that, and we win. Now this trainer over here, if I could get a sentence out, Uh, oh, I believe this is something we don't have yet. This is Haunter, which is the evolved form of Ghastly, which is a Pokemon we already have. So let's try and catch this one. See, I stocked up on all these Pokeballs. I have to be very careful not to misclick and use the Master Ball. Let's try a Great Ball. We don't have to go too crazy. Or maybe we will. There we go. Haunter was caught. Very nice. That wasn't too painful. I believe that was the third throw. It likes to lurk in the dark and tap shoulders with a gaseous hand. Its touch causes endless shuddering. Ugh. Alrighty, transfer Haunter to the box. Still working on box 8, slowly but surely. We want to fight this nurse, because if you win against her, she will make your Pokemon healthy. Which, to be honest, we're not in too terribly much need of, but she also gives experience for defeating her Pokemon, which is definitely good. So we want to do it. Here we have Alomomola. I'm not sure if we've encountered this in the LP before. But, like, look at it. This thing should be an evolution of Love Disc, but it's not. It makes absolutely no sense. In fact, it so much should be an evolution of Love Disc that when it was first revealed, people just automatically assumed that it was an evolution of Love Disc. And were legitimately surprised when the game came out that it wasn't. And I mean, look at it. It looks just like an evolution of Love Disc. I have no idea what they were thinking. Part of me wonders if they'll introduce some sort of intermediate stage evolution in a future generation that connects these two Pokemon, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. I don't think it'll actually happen. Anyway, switched out to Magnezone to deliver lots of voltage, and down it goes. Alright, up next is Chimecho, which I want to say is Pure Ghost? I think it's Pure Ghost, although considering it's based on a wind chime, I'm surprised they didn't make it part steel. I mean, it really seems like it should be part steel type, but I'm pretty sure it's not, which is a little bit weird. Anyway, a single Dark Pulse brings it down with basically zero trouble whatsoever. And the last one out is Audino. So I think we're going to be switching over to Lucario for this one. I'm really liking this team we've put together here. I feel like I've got a counter for pretty much everything. I'm very happy about that. And it's got a lot of types I don't usually use, like I've got a fighting type on my team, and a dragon type, and a psychic type. These are types that I don't generally use that often, which is weird because they're all very good types. I don't know, I just usually sort of don't use them. In fact, electric is another type that I don't use all that often in personal playthroughs. Alrighty, so I believe we are entering the last floor of the dungeon right here, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm pretty sure I'm not. Anyway, let's head over here because we have an item and a trainer. Alrighty. First up is Chatot, which is a truly terrible flying type. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure we've actually caught one of these things. I don't remember when, but I'm almost certain we have. I'll have to go back and look on that. I've got this big list of Pokemon that we've caught on an online drive that I've been using just to keep track of the LP, and it's working quite well so far. That's how I plan out the mass catching episodes. But honestly though, the biggest help is the fact that anytime you download this hack, it comes with a document telling you the locations of all Pokemon in the game, which is very appreciated, let me assure you of that. And I'm really surprised Roserade actually survived that. Luckily, we're not getting a Hyper Potion out of left field, which is odd considering the old couple trainers generally tend to use these really good overpriced items. Oh well. Thick Club. Kind of fitting that we find that here, because I'm pretty sure that is a signature item of Cubone, which is a Pokemon that probably is more than all others associated with death, which is a little morbid, but considering it was a major plot point in the original Pokemon games, I guess you can't really fault it for that. Alrighty, out comes Jolteon. We've seen a couple of Eevee evolutions in this area as of late. Anyway, let's try Dig, even though Dig isn't really all that good of a move all by itself. Honestly, what I'll probably do is later in the game, I'll probably overwrite Dig with Earthquake. And then whenever I need to use Dig, I'll just teach it, use it, and then teach it back to Earthquake. I don't know. It's a plan I have. Still in consideration, of course. Anyway, we have Gallade coming out. I'm saying anyway way too much. And so out comes Mandibuzz to take advantage of the type advantage. Now, I don't remember if fighting actually nullifies its weakness to dark. It does. Well, how about that? Gallade is an interesting Pokemon because it's one of very few Pokemon that is fighting and psychic. I believe the only other Pokemon with that distinction is the Metatite line. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure the Metatite line is the only other line that is fighting and psychic. Actually, I think Pirouette form Meloetta is also fighting and psychic, but after that I'm pretty sure that's it. Alrighty. Now I believe this is the last trainer in the dungeon. I'm pretty sure this is the last floor. I don't actually remember, but I'm pretty sure this is it. Which I believe would leave this episode a bit on the shorter side, but honestly I think that's pretty good considering the last two episodes, I think, were over a half hour in length. I'm not sure, we might be cutting it close. We have Gothitelle right here, going to be switching over to Mandibuzz to once again take advantage of our typing matchups. Alrighty, we've been flattered, which means we're confused. I still don't get the point of this move. It just seems like a very strange move to boost special attack when that doesn't modify confusion damage. Alrighty, now hopefully we can break through this confusion. There we go. This ought to be a one-shot, I believe. Wow, it actually wasn't. I am legitimately surprised that that was not a one-shot, but luckily we snapped out of confusion, which means we can just spam it, and down it goes. Very good. And that leaves us with just this item, which is TM65 Shadow Claw. Yeah, that is a very, very good TM. Now, I believe now that we're up here, I don't think it's actually required to come up to the top of Celestial Tower. But there is going to be something here far later in the game that we are definitely going to want to come up here and get. So it's best that we just sort of clear out the area now. We have a Ghost Gem right here. I believe you only have to talk to Professor Juniper on the bottom floor of the dungeon once you have defeated the gym. Not entirely positive on that. I just wanted to climb up here to get some last-minute experience prior to the gym itself, and also to clear the way up to the top of the dungeon here, because there is going to be something very, very important in here much later in the game. Wait, we already have Litwick? Where did we catch a Litwick? Oh, right, it was in the Relic Castle. Duh. I almost just totally caught a second Litwick. Whoops. Well, it's a good thing we caught one back then, because apparently the ones we can catch here, no final gambit or whatever it used to knock itself out. That was a bit of a derp on my part. Anyway, right here, it's the Celestial Tower bell. Will you ring the bell? Yes. The sound of the bell reverberates throughout the area. I don't think that actually does anything, but it's a really cool detail. I believe that the reason you had to come up here in the original Black and White was to ring the bell and prove to Skyla that you were a worthy challenger. So it's cool that they left this little detail in the game. But that is actually it for Celestial Tower. I think we can fly from here. Please tell me we can fly from here. Yes, we can. Very good. So with that, we are actually done with our exploration of Route 7 for the time being, which is awesome. Which means we really have nowhere else to go except for the gym. I kind of like to do the gyms last out of all things that we are capable of doing. That's just my playstyle, really, to be honest. Anyway, let's heal up our Pokemon here. And I think that will end off this episode. So, this past episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we climbed all the way to the summit of Celestial Tower and rang the Celestial Bell. And next time, we are going to be heading over to the Mistralton City Pokemon Gym and finally earning our 6th Unova League Gym Badge. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. And one final note, we just hit 40 hours of playtime.